In this lesson, you will learn how to read a map, determine a 4, 6, and 8-digit grid coordinate. You will need your Tonino map, protractor, and a mechanical pencil. The military map has vertical lines that run top to bottom and horizontal lines that run left to right. These lines form small squares 1,000 meters on each side called grid squares. The lines that form grid squares are numbered along the outside edge of the map picture. No two grid squares will have the same number. Please look at your map now. To determine which grid square you begin in, you will be given 4 numbers. These numbers are referred to as grid coordinates. When reading a military map, there is a rule. The rule is that you read the map from left to right, then up. To locate the correct grid square, you start at the lower left of the map, then move your finger to the right until you come across the first 2 digits. Then you move your finger up until you reach the second set of digits. Your finger should be on an intersection of grid lines. That intersection is the southwest corner of the 4-digit grid square you are trying to locate. In this case, the grid square is 0593. So you start on the left-hand side, go to the right until you get to 05, and then you'll move up until you get to 93. My finger is in the southwest corner of that grid square, 0593. To determine the correct 2-letter 100,000 meter square identifier, you must look at the grid reference box in the margin of the map. When reporting across a 100,000 meter line, prefix the 100,000 meter square identification in which the point lies. In this example, grid coordinates located above the 00 grid line would be prefixed with EH, Echo Hotel. Grid coordinates located below the 00 grid line would be prefixed with EG, Echo Golf. In our example, the grid reference box, we are referring to this right here. EH is over the 00 grid line. EG is below the 00 grid line. Our grid square is 0593 and is located below the 00 grid line. So our coordinate to that 4-digit grid would be written as such: Echo Golf 0593. A 4-digit grid coordinate will get you within 1,000 meters of your location. A 6-digit grid coordinate will get you within 100 meters of your location. And an 8-digit grid coordinate will get you within 10 meters of your location. Now we will move on to the 6-digit grid. To make your location more accurate, just add another number to the first half and another number to the other half, so your address has 6 numbers instead of 4. You will need a protractor to determine a 6-digit grid coordinates. Suppose that each grid square has 10 lines inside it running north and south, and another 10 running east and west. This makes 100 smaller squares. You can estimate where these imaginary lines are. Suppose you are 8/10 towards the vertical grid line 06. This means the next number is 8, and the first half of your 6-digit grid is 058. Now suppose you are 4/10 the way up between the horizontal grid lines 93 and 94. This means the second half of your 6-digit grid is 934. Your 6-digit grid location would be Echo Golf 058934. We will locate point A. You will place your protractor in the southwest corner of grid square 0593, ensuring that it is aligned vertically and horizontally with the grid lines. You will then slide your protractor to the right until your vertical scale, this is your vertical scale, this is your horizontal scale, has bisected the point which you are trying to find. Once you have determined that the vertical scale has bisected your point, then you will look at the horizontal scale, and then you will take the number that the 05 grid line has bisected on your scale. So in this case, it's in between, so we will round up, we will go to 8. The last number in our 6-digit grid coordinate will come off of where the point has bisected our vertical scale, and in this case, it is 4. So our 6-digit grid coordinate is Echo Golf 058934. Now the most accurate way to determine a grid coordinate is to get an 8-digit grid. In the example, we will want to find 8-digit grid coordinate to point A. We will be using the same protractor and the same scale, 1/50,000 on the protractor. Okay. We already know that our point is located in the grid square Echo Golf 0593. When we are determining an 8-digit grid coordinate, it is best to set up your answer as such before you figure it out. You would write the Echo Golf, you've already determined that. The 05 and the 93, we already know. So we would leave 2 spaces between the 05 and the 93, and 2 spaces behind the 93 for our answer. Just like we did in the 6-digit grid, we will use the protractor. Before we get started, I want to explain something on the protractor. On a 1/50,000 scale, you have a horizontal and a vertical scale, numbered from 0 to 1,000. Each one of these numbers represents 100 meters. And between each one of these numbers is a smaller tick mark. That's the halfway mark. That would represent a 5. So between 0 and 1, that 5 would be 0.5. That would be 50 meters. And each number would do the same depending on which one you're working with. Now when we're dealing with the 8-digit grid coordinate, we have to estimate exactly where the grid line would fall so we don't round up or round down. So in between the 0 and that 5, there is a 0.1, a 0.2, a 0.3, 0.4. Then the halfway would be 0.5, and then it goes all the way up to 0.9, and then it goes to 1. And each set of numbers is the same, both vertically and horizontally. This is why the 8-digit grid coordinate is more accurate. So now we will place our protractor in the southwest corner, just like we did in the 6-digit. Then we will slide our protractor over until our point has bisected the vertical scale, ensuring that the protractor is aligned both horizontally and vertically. Now that we're using the 8-digit grid coordinate, I can be more accurate, and the number that the vertical 0.5 grid line is crossing is halfway between the 7 and 8, so that would be 7.5. The point where it is crossing the vertical scale, the number is halfway in between. So it would be 5. So our answer is Echo Golf 05759345.